Imagine a simple scene. You open your mouth to start a conversation, and within seconds it fades away like a candle blown out. Then another person walks in, says only a few words, and suddenly the entire room turns toward them. Why? It is neither beauty nor humor, nor an extraordinary level of confidence. It is something far more subtle. When they speak, the air seems to grow denser. Their words carry weight. And the secret has nothing to do with how much they say, but with the quality of what they choose to express. The Stoics understood this more than 2 millennia ago. Presence matters far more than performance. Today, I will share with you 6 essential phrases and a unique state of mind that naturally draw others toward you, without forcing anything, without manipulation, without pretending to be someone you're not. And the 4th one is perhaps the most misunderstood of all. If this kind of content already brings you value, consider subscribing so you don't miss anything. Now let's continue. Chapter 1. Open the door. Tell me more. 4 words of disarming simplicity, yet they open inner spaces most people never even notice. Imagine someone saying, "I've started playing guitar." What do most people do? They turn the moment into a competition. "I used to play too. You should try this technique." And in an instant, the exchange is no longer a sharing of experiences, but a stage where the ego demands attention. Now imagine answering simply, "Tell me more," and then falling silent. You listen, not to jump in, not to sound clever, but to understand. That is where genuine connection begins. Most people spend their lives hoping to meet someone who truly listens, and when they do, they don't forget it. Epictetus said we have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we may listen twice as much as we speak. Listening is not a passive gesture. It is an act of presence. It tells the other person, "You matter enough for me to be quiet." When you speak less and listen fully, people don't walk away thinking, "That person was captivating." They think, "I felt captivating while speaking to them," and that is what brings them back. If this resonates with you, consider turning on notifications. It supports the channel more than you know. Chapter 2. The disarming power of honesty. Saying "I don't know." 3 words many people fear. When someone asks for your opinion on a subject you barely understand, instinct pushes you to pretend, to offer something vague, broad, and blurry enough to go unnoticed. It feels like a way to save face, at least on the surface. But what is false always sounds false. The tone wavers, the eyes search for approval, and trust disappears, sometimes instantly. Now imagine someone saying, calmly and without embarrassment, "I don't know." That simple admission changes everything. It softens the exchange. It clarifies where each person stands. Because if someone is honest about what they don't know, then what they do affirm carries real weight. Socrates understood this when he claimed to know nothing. It wasn't false humility, it was wisdom, a lucid recognition of his limits. Knowledge begins where pretension ends. Insecure people need to appear informed about everything. People at peace have no issue admitting their ignorance. They know that such an admission takes nothing away, that it even opens the door to learning. Saying "I don't know" is not weakness, it is clarity. And paradoxically, it is what makes others listen more carefully when you speak. Chapter 3. Recognizing the weight of things. That sounds difficult, a simple sentence, yet it reaches directly into the heart. When someone speaks of pain, a breakup, mental overload, or failure, our first reflex is often to fix things. "You should try this." When it happened to me, I did that. We think we're helping, offering a solution that will ease the burden right away. The intention is good, but what the other person hears has nothing to do with empathy. They hear a concealed judgment, an impression of being evaluated rather than understood. Saying, "That sounds difficult," is different. You are not trying to repair or minimize anything. You are acknowledging. You're making room for the reality of the other person without trying to repaint it. That simple recognition can weigh more than any advice you might give. Marcus Aurelius urged us to be gentle with others and demanding with ourselves, while most people do the opposite. They correct others and forgive themselves for everything. They imagine they are offering strength, when in truth, they are imposing their own perspective. Saying, "That sounds difficult," creates a space where the other person can simply exist. A space without pressure, without the need for immediate solutions, without any mask to wear. And within that space, people begin to heal, not because of your guidance, but because of your presence. Sometimes, presence alone lightens a burden that words could never lift. Chapter 4. The silence that speaks here is the most feared and most misunderstood one. The power of silence. Many people are afraid of it. The moment a conversation pauses, they panic. They fill the space with anything, nervous laughter, unnecessary anecdotes, as if a moment of quiet were a failure, a sign that they have nothing of value to offer. This fear drives them to fill the air even when nothing truly deserves to be said. But silence is a strength. Watch someone who is comfortable with it. They speak rarely, and when they do, everyone listens. Because their silence before their words signals that what follows matters, as if every second of stillness prepares the ground for something more genuine. Seneca wrote that silence is a lesson learned through pain. Those who have faced their own chaos no longer fear the quiet. They understand that silence is not empty. It is full of attention, clarity, presence. A space where the mind stops scattering, where one can finally hear what is happening within. When you no longer run from silence, you no longer run from yourself. Your words gain weight. You no longer speak to fill space, but to give meaning. And then, others lean toward you before you even open your mouth, as if your very way of being already carries something precious. If this idea resonates with you, consider subscribing to support the spread of this message. Chapter 5. Seeing the person before the action. 3 words that warm everything. I appreciate you. They go further than thank you. Thank you speaks to an action. You helped me, you did this, you solved that. It is a momentary acknowledgement tied to a specific gesture. I appreciate you speaks to the person. It means I see who you are, independent of what you do. It is a way of honoring presence before performance. This is precisely what Marcus Aurelius practiced each morning. He didn't rejoice only in what people accomplished, but in the kind of human beings they were. Recognizing virtue in others strengthens our own. It reminds us that the quality of a relationship is measured not only by visible actions, but by the intentions that guide them. Use this phrase rarely, but sincerely. When someone embodies consistency, loyalty, kindness, that is when the words reveal their full power. They become almost a balm, a quiet confirmation that the way we are matters just as much as the results we produce. In a world obsessed with productivity, being the person who truly sees others is almost revolutionary. It is choosing to value the human before the usefulness, the essence before the efficiency. And that simple difference changes everything. Chapter 6. the word that protects your peace. The simplest, most liberating word, no. Your time, your energy, your attention are constantly being pulled at. And too often, you say yes out of habit, out of fear of disappointing, out of guilt. You end up losing yourself in other people's expectations, almost without noticing. But every yes given to what matters little is a silent no to what truly matters. Your peace, your focus, your growth. Epictetus advised us to understand the meaning of our words before we speak them. Every yes has a cost. If your yes is given to everything, then it no longer means anything. It becomes a currency too easy to spend, a promise that no longer reflects your true intention. Observe someone who has learned to say no. They reflect, they consider, and when they say no, they say it simply, without justification. That clarity commands respect. It shows they take themselves seriously, that they know where their limits are. Because when your no is firm, your yes becomes precious. Boundaries do not push people away. They filter. They distance those who only wanted your availability, and they draw closer those who respect your value. They create a space where you can finally move forward without betraying yourself. These 6 phrases are not techniques, but reflections of your character. They don't require you to do more, only to be fully present. Remove the excess. Let go of the need to impress, and you'll notice that people simply begin to see you as you are. If this message spoke to you, share your thoughts in the comments, and consider subscribing to continue cultivating calm and clarity each day.